Can you just say something?
Yeah, man.
Okay, guys, Extraordinary People podcast. Welcome back. We're here at the VU, February 15th. I'm joined by Haroen. How are you?
Beher. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, thank you.
How are you finding the event today?
It's informative. It's all cranked up, which is supposed to be. I think it's a good initiative, and I think it's a very good idea that the university which I studied on hosts these kinds of events because it's important.
And what is your background in terms of the sciences? Did you do geosciences or engineering?
Yes, I have a master's degree in paleoclimatology and geoecosystems. I graduated in 2009 here at Free University Amsterdam. Perfect study, perfect everything, field works, everything. It was a blessing of my life, actually.
And when you're talking to companies about your experiences and about your background, do you find that the things that you study, do you find a home for them in companies? Because sometimes we find if for example a master's program or a bachelor's program or a PhD or what have you might have a bit more of a research element, it doesn't directly always translate to a company.
Actually, that's the best thing about geology, if you ask me. I once phrased it as being a detective throughout time because you have to reconstruct what happened and what's the most plausible way. It's basically you're studying living Occam's razor, that the most logical explanation is usually the right one. And I find that this unique view of the world around you and how it actually portrays and seeps through in different aspects of our society, for example, be it geotechnical, be it geological, be it biological, be it, whatever. Everything is more or less, well, not more or less, everything is connected. And if you can discern the patterns, you better understand what's happening around you. And geology gives you a very unique perspective on that.
So for any aspiring detectives, this is the study to take, I think.
It is absolutely a life-changing, it's a life-changing study in all aspects.
And you mentioned off camera that you've got a lot of geotechnical experience. Can you just break that down for me? If someone doesn't know what a geotechnician, is that the right term? Technician does.
To put it bluntly, half of the Netherlands is underneath water, and you need geotechnical engineers, for example, to calculate levee stability, or otherwise half of the country would be underwater, and that's basically why it's important.
And is a background in strong statistics, or is it quite a quantitative sort of exercise, or?
Geotechnics is modeling, drawing lines, pressing F9, and interpreting the outcome of the model. There is a popular phrase, if you put shit in a model, shit will come out. Yeah? And so having a degree in geology, for example, combine that with geotechnics, means that, for example, the soil you're working with, which isn't hard rock, obviously, but it's important to know if it's in situ or not in situ because it behaves in a different way in a lab than it does in nature.
That's an interesting point because I think it would highlight that there are limitations to what you can actually model, right?
Yeah.
Do you use CAD a lot, or what is the software that you would use for that kind of modeling process?
What we use is the Deltaris thing, the D-stability, that sort of stuff. So basically what you do is you determine the inherent mass of, for example, clay or the soil, the tension between the particular particles, and you calculate how they interact with each other. But if you, for example, take a cylinder of soil, you put it to a pressure test, then it will behave differently, or for example peat will behave differently if you press it in when it's contained in a container than, for example, if you stand on a peat ball.
It's fascinating stuff.
So basically what you're doing is you're taking the nature part and you're putting it back into the model, because models usually only go 2D, they should be 3D, and they should have an idea how they work through time and interact with the soil around it.
How do you feel about the future of the geosciences? We're obviously hearing this potential news of budget cuts and department closures. If you have any words or thoughts about this.
It would be particularly stupid if they cut out earth sciences, because earth sciences are, like I said, integrated into multiple aspects in our society. If, for example, an earth scientist, back in my day, earth science was a curriculum, and it had different aspects, and they condensed it to, for example, earth and economy, to make it more generic. And the more generic you make it, that means you may have 500 vacancies, but if you have 1,500 people who can do the same trick and are less diverse, that means that you actively deconstruct your Venn diagram. The beauty of geologists is that they're able to move multidisciplinary.
It's a fascinating thought, and I hope as many we're going to hear some nice stories today, some good stories. There's obviously challenges as well, that sometimes the demand doesn't meet the supply, and I think communication, letting the public know why geologists are needed, exactly as you've just done, is super important as well.
Yeah, it's don't get hopes up and don't cut back in the diversity of the people who have different interests, because that is exactly what I can't stress enough. The more diverse, the more interdisciplinary people can move, and the better they will do their job eventually, no matter what.
Thank you so much for your time, Haroen. And Extraordinary People podcast, like, share, subscribe, check us out, and we hope to see you soon.
Button.
Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Cheers.